in terms of that first depth chart, I don't put a lot of weight on it just because it can shift so quickly. These guys are going to get the first opportunities come Friday, but what I mean is, like, you could have Dan Moore starting right now at left tackle, which he is on the depth chart. Do we anticipate that potentially being the case week 1? Those type of things. Quan Alexander, you brought up a great point. It's like, yeah, he's listed as a 2 on the depth chart. Do we anticipate that being the case by week 1? So I don't get like too worked up about this just yet from my perspective, just because of from personal experiences. I've seen how that thing could shift, and yeah. Behind closed doors, they've definitely written that in pencil, man. Yeah. But I ain't tripping on it, though. I ain't tripping on it.
You got to put something out, and this is what they did.
Absolutely. In fact, I remember, like, as a player, you kind of feel weird about it because people will see that and they think that's, like, final. So they'll hit you up like, yo, you made it. You're the guy. You're starting. And it's just like, bro, do you realize, like, this is just the play? Like, we had, like you said, put something out. It is very much still fluid to me, man. Like you said, Montravis starting at nose.
I just don't see that being the case.
Yeah.
I think Keanu Benton's going to win that out.
And it's not even a knock
Watch
on
out for my man Jonathan Marshall, too.
Bro,
they got him at 4th on the depth chart.
You've been pounding the table for Jonathan Marshall since we just signed that dude, bro.
He got snubbed. 4th on the depth chart.
Hey, I really hope that comes to fruition, though, bro. Because you have been pounding the table, man. That is your guy. I like it. That's your dark horse. He's been your dark horse.
Dark horse.
He's been your dark horse for the longest.
I'm not calling him to be starting or anything. I'm just like,
but that's your dark horse dude.
I think he's all right.
Yeah, I like him as your dark horse guy, though. But he's definitely, like, being your guy, though.
Is TG Conan?
I just shot him a text to see if he's solid and good to go. So I'm waiting to hear back. All right? So let's keep talking.
Well, I feel like this Calvin Austin as the starting return man, both kick return and punt return over Gunner. You're right. It's just written in pencil because if you come out here and F things up during preseason.
If he put that ball on the ground.
I feel like it's still an open competition between those two.
Yeah. And I think it's different, too, for Calvin versus Gunner because with Gunner, he has a lot more going for him in terms of confidence in his ability from a coaching standpoint, just because he's already done it at a very high level. But we know recency, we have seen him put the ball on the ground. So it's having us feeling a little bit type of, just uncertainty with it. Whereas with Calvin, homegrown, we love it, we're excited, but we literally know nothing about what it's going to be in the stadium.
We haven't even seen him play a preseason game yet. Yeah.
So that's the part where you're like, dang, I know this, but I have some questions with this. I'm really excited about this, but I have a ton of questions. That's very much open. I will say, though, and we both know this to be true with Coach Tomlin, if it is close, he's going to go with the young guy. So if he feels like it's close between...
Could take some stuff to the house and be more explosive.
Well, absolutely. But what I mean by close is the first part of being a punt returner is getting possession of the football.
Yeah.
That part has to be close to where Gunner is because Gunner, he's not fumbling catching the football. That was Deontay's issue. Deontay wasn't fumbling once he had the ball in his hands. He was going to be all over the place catching it. Gunner, he was going to catch it. Ryan Switzer was going to catch it.
Traditionally,
yeah. So that's the thing. You know what I mean? It's all about, can you just catch it first? So for Calvin, before we even talk about how explosive he could be with the ball in his hands, he has to first prove that his floor in terms of just catching the football or catching the punts is varsity, is Gunnar Olszewski bare minimum, because it's hard to go back from at least that part, because we know how that felt with DJ back there at times, man, when we're like, yo, that Giants game, man, when that thing bouncing on you, like, it make games get real weird. Real weird, man.
Right. Well, Gunnar needs to clean that up himself.
Yeah, which he has been, though.
He has
been. Yeah. From what I've seen out there, man, he looks good catching it. Calvin looks good catching it. But once again, the pressure isn't on in practice. So, yes, I can watch Gunnar catch 3 footballs with his right hand while holding 2 footballs in his left hand. I've seen it. He literally would throw one up, catch the other one. Reminds me how AB would do it when he was warming it up, right? But it's different because this is a practice setting. If you drop a football, it doesn't kill you. You drop a football, you don't have a gunner running down there to hit you in your face. Same for Calvin Austin. I see Calvin, catch this one, catch that one, catch this one. Throw that. Oh, I got it. Deontay was doing the same thing when he was out there. In stadium, though, when that pressure is on, when you got that gunner bearing down on you, when that ball is up here and you staring and you like, all right, I got to get this, I got to get this, I got to get this. That's where you have to be perfect. Not once, not twice, not 10 times, but literally every time. We even talked about gunner, right? A year ago, all pro, we talked about last year, and it's like, hey, man, you dropped one, bro, or you ain't dropped a catch, but you fumbled. It's like, hey, I don't care how many other returns you had. We saw you fumble that one. That's the type of pressure we're talking about Calvin walking into. That's why we're like, we just got to see that in stadium because that's very different. And you could be fine for the first 10 weeks. You start fumbling week 11. What are we going to be saying about Calvin? He could house something. Think about Deontay housed one versus AZ. Opening game the following year. We're like, bro, get him out of there. You got to pull him. Get him out. Calvin got to walk into that, man.
That's how it goes.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. Absolutely.